She looks up for me. Very detailed description, very nice. I would say, find the button, press it. So, can you all see that, with the pandemic that is going on, what is the benefit that is happening for your life? I would like to hear some of those benefits or some of the advantages or some of the discoveries that you all have. Like Earl, he's staying at home instead of all the way in the West Coast. I want to hear some of that. So you guys can unmute yourself. I'm not going to mute and unmute, so you guys can unmute yourselves, like my honey says, and share and try to do it one at a time. Okay. Oh, let's go. Who wants to share? And I hear silence.
Profound silence.
I'm going to call you guys if you guys are silent.
I'll go. It's Elizabeth.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. How are you? So cool to see you. Some of my benefits is I'm upstate New York. I'm located mostly in Manhattan. That's where my residence is, but transplanted to my parents' home. So I get to be outside and in nature, and I'm going through an incredible rebrand for my business. So it's been such an opportunity for me to just really connect to the essence of my energy, the calmness of nature, the real colors of the outside world, and allow myself to be able to draw that into the work and then create from there. And it's been really great for business. And obviously people are going through a lot. So business has been booming on my end, and which is really beneficial for me too. So that's been a little snippet of my Corona.
I'm envious of your parents' place. They're so beautiful. We had a session just, I think, yesterday, and she was sitting outside and with all the trees and everything like that. And they just had snow just a week or so ago. And it's like, I don't have any snow this year. So, okay.
Snow is a 4-letter word.
It is a 4-letter word. Okay, so thank you for sharing, Elizabeth. That sounds great. Who else, through this experience, I just want to hear, what are the benefits, what you got out of it? Who's going to share? I know you guys got something.
I'll share.
Okay.
This is Lenny. I've been somehow things are coming up in a way where I can recognize it, be with it, and lots of opportunities for self-care, self-nurturing. Something about the staying at home so much it feels like it sets me up for more attention to taking care of myself, because I've been learning how to get past anxiety and relax. Like I meditate, actually like relax and not just sit still. And so a lot of opportunities for healing and self-love. So.
Yeah, that's one of the big things that I notice a lot of people getting is actually to look inwards and introspective.
Yeah.
And to reassess oneself and to actually give. I see a lot of people also realize they need a break. They need some pause in their life. They need something. So it's almost like this is forcing them to do that, And then another thing that I also see that a lot of people are forced to relate to their family more than they ever have. Are you all experiencing that?
Yes. And it's been very good because it's like I'm home a lot normally anyway, but it feels different now. It's
Yeah.
not just him being back. Well, part of it is him being back here, but like Artie's behaving differently. I was hoping Artie would be on the call. She was interested, but she's sleeping. She's going through her own stuff, and because I think it's because we have to be here. We need to deal with getting along more than ever. So at least for me, I feel like I face stuff right here in front of me instead of putting it off to another day.
Yeah, a lot of people actually have to face stuff more than they thought. Like they have to face their situation, they have to face their circumstance, they have to face their work, they have to face stuff a lot more than they expected. So yes, thank you for mirroring that and sharing that as well. So, and stay with it, because there's always something wonderful or something special out of this. Stay with it, okay? And communication, a lot of that, and it's like your barometer of family time is gonna go up and up and up, and it's gonna go. So don't let it blow, okay? It's like family. It's like there's no such thing as too much family, but we do have that limit, okay? So allow too much of something. Just don't let it blow. Reach out and touch someone. Okay, so who else have got an opportunity to use this time to see or assess or see something, either themselves or the world?
I think it's a marvelous time. It's Peggy.
Oh, yes, Peggy. Hello there.
Hello. I find it to be wonderful to be at home even more than I typically am. And it feels as though the things that I have in my life that I have focused on, that I have done over the last 10 and 20 years, are coalescing and coming together in a new, more focused way. So I'm excited about that. Moving forward in my work life. And I think the whole planet's going to be better off for this once, eventually, and it's going to take a long time to see what all the ramifications are. But we will come out, all of us, the better for this on the other side.
You think?
I know.
My dear lady, she's a feng shui lady, guys, so she can feel the change of vibrations of things and the places, and and our planet is definitely benefiting from all of this. You get that? It's not even, it's definitely benefiting. If you all just look at the news, you all see so many new things. It's like skies, people can see the skies again, okay? Waters are clearing, skies are clearing, and it things like that. The North Pole, the holes are closing up and things like that. So there's a lot of good stuff, okay, for the planet especially. Like the beautiful stream back here, you get to enjoy now, cleaner. It's like, okay. So there's a lot more. It's like the rain is different, okay? The clouds are different. And last night I stand out there, I could see a satellite flying by, so it's just beautiful. And so, okay, good. So like I said, we can look at it in many ways. Why I'm asking this question is, pandemic happens, accident happens, disaster happens, and the first thing news like to say is it's the worst thing or it's the bad thing. Yes?
Well. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, when they do that, it's bad. It's like, it's scary. Everybody reacts. Yes. I mean, how many love the Weather Channel? We have a weatherman here. It's like, yeah. Hey, Joe, you see that? We're talking about you, right? Yeah, the Weather Channel is a very good example. It's like every day, the moment there is an inkling of a storm building up, right? They already say, okay, we have to go to the weatherman. He's got something for you to tell you guys. Wow. He's like, hey guys, everybody get ready. There's a storm building up. You know? So I want you all to hear that. For those of you who want to make a difference in the world, if you want to make the news, you want to know how to build that news, yes?
Be a storm.
Well, it's not, well, you can be a storm for one. Look, there's a whole different perspective for it. You can be a storm, you know, or you can be a storm where people want to report, yes? Or just be an invisible cloud and just create a fog where nobody can see anything. Interesting, yes? So that's just the news. Okay, so one more share about this? Any good stuff that comes out of this? All right, I want to call out somebody. My dear friend from all the way from Canada, West Coast. Saul, you haven't said a word here other than about the email, and welcome, because you have not been able to come on to our thing. So welcome that you get to join us. Yay! So there are some of the wonderful things that happen for you during this crazy time.
Oh my gosh, so many things. I've been evaluating every area of my life. I've been getting really clear about where I put my energy and what's important to me and what I value. And I'm also doing a rebrand with my business, and I've ended a relationship, somebody I was living with. And
But you mean you have your own space now?
Yes, and it feels so wonderful.
What else? That sounds good.
Yeah, and just getting really clear on my relationship with my family and boundaries and so many things. Making peace with different parts of my story and my past.
Mm-hmm.
And just loving being in my own energy. I've always loved to be alone, but I love it even more. I'm having even more fun.
Well, you get to feel yourself now more than ever before, is it not?
Yeah.
You know, in this craziness, it's not only that everybody has to slow down, and they have to slow down all around you, and you get to create a space for yourself where you don't have to like always rush every day now. You actually have to slow down, but you get to feel who you really are. You get that?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a gift, to have that opportunity to play with that, and then do something that you love. And you've been talking to powerful, wonderful people, who has transformed their life. Those are fun stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So good.
Yeah, you all can check her YouTube too, and she's just got some great interviews, and thank you, welcome for coming here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so excited because I hear like Elizabeth is rebranding herself. It's like a whole new website is coming. So everybody's who take this opportunity, like Peggy is like enjoying herself, doing things completely different, and just creating and sharing her feng shui work. I see her, I heard people talking about it. It's really nice to hear that she's doing this. So it's a time for us to actually reassess on how we want to play. Yes. And for those of you who were on the last Now and Then gathering, I asked you all to open a door to see what's coming. Yes. And those are the things, in my life, things are already happening that way as well. What's coming is just beautiful. So when you can see that, it's really neat. It really is. Okay. So thank you. So anybody else? One more. I feel one more coming. Who wants to share? Okay. Should I call you guys? Da, 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 da. All right. The people from out in the wonderful peaceful place. Beth and David. The special place, the new movie star. Come on, tell us what it is.
Well, I feel like I was very fortunate to have met an acupuncturist right before all this happened, and she just happened to be starting a 21-day Ayurvedic cleanse right when all this happened. So it was so much easier for me to do that working from home than if I had to go to work every day. So that was very perfect. And then
great timing.
Yeah, it was perfect timing. And then I started back to work for real. I was working from home, but we started back to work last week. So
already? Wow, you guys are ahead of schedule.
Yeah, and we're being real safe. And I actually have had kind of I'm doing some introspection, but I've been a hermit. It's been really nice instead of going out and being with a lot of people all the time. It's been kind of nice to just stay away from everyone.
It's like you guys wanted a quiet place, and now you have total hermit, right?
That's it.
They were from Williamsburg and Norfolk before, the city life, and now they are beautiful in, what is the name of your place again?
Called Brevard. It's Western North Carolina, out in the mountains.
Yeah, really close to Asheville, right?
Yes, about 45 minutes from Asheville.
Exactly. So that was beautiful. So thank you for sharing, and thank you for sharing your wonderful hermit experience. I think I should do that for myself real soon. Okay. So, does anybody remember what is today's conversation supposed to be? Did anybody read the email? It was hidden.
Self-sabotage.
Yeah.
Self-sabotage.
Wow, you guys actually read. I purposely put just one line to see if anybody even read all the way there. Self-sabotage. I don't think you guys ever do that to yourself, do you? You guys are so good. You guys are masters, right? You guys don't do that kind of stuff. So what do I mean by self-sabotage? Okay, when I say self-sabotage, we can do it in many ways. Even if it's physical, it all begins from some way. Okay, sometimes we create something really good, and after we create it, we're so excited in creating it, and we self-sabotage ourselves from getting it. It's really funny, when I listen to myself and I listen to people, when you can hear that, you can see a lot of self-sabotage going on every day. Okay, so is that healthy to have self-sabotage?
Depends.
Okay, in what sense, John, that you said depend?
Sometimes when we self-sabotage, it can actually thwart something so that something doesn't take place or someone doesn't come into your life or whatever, and that's actually the best thing for you.
Okay, so what I'm hearing you saying is that you create something but not intending to have it, and self-sabotage it to stop it from getting that for your own protection. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. I guess that's a good way of looking at it. Yeah, right? You create something not intentional, and then you self-sabotage yourself to protect yourself. So your own self-defense mechanism is doing that. Okay. So very good perspective. Thank you for sharing me to look at it something different way. Okay. So what about you guys? Is self-sabotage helpful for you guys in your own journey?
No.
No.
That's me.
Self-sabotage can happen in career, in personal life, in health, in relationship, in friendship, in work, in personal goals. Okay, so
Excuse me, I have a question.
who's this?
This is Ashley. I've never
Hello,
been on
Ashley.
your call. Hello.
Okay.
I have a question. So, what exactly does self-sabotage mean? Like, what is the definition that you're using?
Correct. Very good question. Okay. In my conversation here about self-sabotage, I mean by, let's say, let me give you a simple example here. You know, when I want to create something for myself, like one time I want to create, I want to speak at a big event, a real big event. I wanted to speak. And so I set it all up, I design it, and I want to introduce myself to everything like that. And all of a sudden I think to myself, after design, even have a topic and everything like that. And all of a sudden I says, am I good enough? Do they even want to hear me? It's like, who am I to think that they want me to talk in their event? And guess what? It didn't happen. You see what I'm saying? Ashley, do you hear what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. In other words, like when we create, like, we want a business to be successful. We want it to be crazy big. We want it, and all of a sudden it's like, I don't know. Do I want to be that crazy? Do I want to be that busy? Like another time, a friend of mine invited me to do a business. The business was such a great idea. It was so awesome. And then when we start to build it up, I even got the domain name. I got everything set it up. And what I realized is I've had a wonderful work schedule, so relaxed and so nice. And if I were to go through with this schedule, I would have to be traveling almost 5 days a week. I would be going to events, to big events, to colleges, to NBA, to stuff like that, to be promoting this stuff. And I look at myself, I was like, do I really want that? I was like,
Your football life does, Alex.
Thank you, that I will want. Yes, So in that note, when we create something, and if we are not paying attention to that, we actually stop ourselves from getting it. And I'm going to use somebody, but I'm not going to use a name. Yeah. Somebody said, we created a wonderful partnership with her. And it's like he's like the most wonderful person, successful and light and powerful that she can dance with. And all of a sudden she has one little small statement here. She says, don't think such a word. I've never, what else is the word? She says, in my world, I don't know if that such beautiful person exists.
No, I can help you out with it. I was designing a very beautiful relationship with Alex. And at the end of my design, I said, but I've never met someone like this yet.
Thank you.
And he said, what? You just self-sabotage yourself. So that was sabotage after we spent 15 minutes or so creating a really wonderful partnership.
Thank you. So simple. After all that work, boom, it's now nullified.
Oh.
Until we change it back. Otherwise, it's no longer exists. Because the phrase you use, in my world, it doesn't exist.
Hey, Alex.
Yes, John.
So we all have thoughts that come in that we don't really mean or that we don't really want. Mm-hmm. And so if we do that in a split second, isn't there a way to reverse it very quickly so that we can get it back on track the way Elizabeth was talking about?
yes, that's one of the reasons why I want to talk about it today, so that you guys are present to it and what you can do with it. And we're going to go through that exercise. So I just want to hear what is a self-sabotage, like Ashley is talking about. You know, I want to get people to be very clear. And thank you, Elizabeth, for helping me clarify what I'm talking about.
Of course.
And she's got something wonderful coming now. So, you know, because when this subject come up, I was like, you know, what do I want to talk about? And I realized people have more time to think. People have more time to create. People have more time to do things in themselves. And I says, how can I help them make sure that this creation time is beneficial and powerful for them? And the word kept coming inside. Help them to stop their self-sabotage. Help them to stop, you know, so that they can actually believe and manifest what they create. Okay, and something in self-sabotage, another example of self-sabotage is something as simple as this. You know, I want to write a book, and so it's like I want to write a book. And then I got an idea, and so they started jotting it down. It's like the ideas start flowing, and then one little thought that says, who would want to read this book? It's not a big thought, but that one little thought is like, I don't know if this is even going to help people. And so the little thought and another little thought will start to build if you don't interrupt it, catch it, and release it, and stay focused and focus on your goal. It will bust your bubble very quickly. Okay? And then it will build. It's like the more you write, because now you put two doubts in your head. So your writing, the flowing, your channeling is actually slowing down now. Okay? And then it's like, well, I don't know. Why do I want to put so much energy? I don't know if people even want to read it. Or even something as simple as this. It's nothing personal, but it's something social that people have heard before. It's like, well, it's so hard to make a living writing. I don't know if I don't know if this is the best direction for me. Boom, we just created a barrier because we accepted a social norm. And so the idea that we have all of a sudden is like, I don't know, do I really want to do it now? So those are little self-sabotage. I want you all to get present to it so you all can actually hear it, catch it, and we're going to actually do exercise to actually change it. So if you don't know it, you're not going to be present to it. It's just going to keep firing. It's like you're going to say, oh yeah, you know, I got an idea, I've got an invention, I want to go out, you go tell everybody, I'm so excited. Wow, this is the best thing since sliced bread. Okay? And you share it with somebody look at you and says, that's the stupidest idea. It's like, oh, you must be crazy. Nobody's going to want it. Boom. Mm-hmm. That idea just disappeared. That bubble just busted. Yes?
Alex?
Yes.
Yeah, just something that I wanted to add too is the feeling part of that. I know when I work with, you know, my clients, what shows up a lot is patterns of frustration, patterns of disappointment, not wanting to even set a goal anymore because of the stopping and starting. And if you've ever had that experience of you get started, you're excited, you're really enthusiastic about an idea, and then you lose energy around it. There's self-sabotage there somewhere. Either A, you don't really want it, and you're just buying into somebody else's story of success, or more likely what's happening is you're sabotaging yourself, and it's just subtle enough that you don't even realize that you're doing it. But if just look to your own patterns, and you'll see, like, a lot of times too, procrastination is all about, self-sabotage, especially if it's a pattern. If you procrastinate, if you're feeling stuck, if you're doing a lot of that stopping and starting and then questioning. Second guessing is another thing that shows up when you're self-sabotaging. And it's not the second guessing, it's what's underneath it. It's not the frustration, it's what's causing it.
Is there a way to build momentum based on what you're talking about, so that you don't do the hills and valleys,
Yeah.
but that you just soar?
Perfect. But thank you, John. And Larry, thank you for sharing that. Bubbles get busted, and then it spirals downwards a lot. People spiral downward really, really far. Okay, and thank you for sharing that. And yes, John, we will be building that, and I'll be sharing with you how to be solid so that you don't get knocked down and so quickly and things like that. I was just pressing buttons, and I hit another thing. I learned that when I'm looking at the Facebook comment, it's like all of a sudden Facebook Live came up on my iPad and start talking, and I'm listening to two voice. So sorry about that, guys. It's always something to learn in our life here. So I just am excited. I love toys. Okay. and we're doing it ourselves. So here, what Larry said is actually very, very powerful and very important. We actually allow others, their opinions, their ideas, their concept to be more valuable than yourself.
Since I got back from the hospital, I procrastinate all the time, and I never did before.
Yep.
I want to do something, and I just want to close my eyes. And first night, I put it off completely.
Yeah.
Alex?
1 second for John. I want to address Robert's conversation. Robert, thank you for sharing that. In our life, Robert shared something so important, so powerful that all his life that never happened. All it takes is one thing. All it takes is one thing. And I've been there to change our life pattern, our life habits, and it can go all the way down. Okay, unless we interrupt it and change its direction and bring us back to the way we were or the way we want to go. And Robert, thank you so much for sharing. And how are you now that you're back home?
I get tired quickly, but I went through 3 major operations in 3 weeks.
And our prayers are with you. Okay?
Yes.
Alex?
And you get to come home, yes? Okay. John, go ahead, John.
Well, I was going to say, Robert, you have the energy of a 17-year-old most of the time, and you're so used to like going all the time. Procrastination for you.
John, your voice went blank.
Okay. Okay. Say what you say again, John.
Okay. Robert, you have the energy of a 17-year-old most of the time, and you go and you go and you go and you go and you go. Procrastination might actually be a good change for you, a positive change. Sometimes these things that happen to us in life happen because we need them to, so that we step back and we let life in a little more. We allow life to come a little more, flow a little more, have more joy with it instead of like really going and getting it all the time. I don't know.
There you go, Robert. That's another perspective, yes?
Yes, but I like
You
to
know?
go.
I know you do.
And as you can see, people have perspective all the time. You know, it's a matter of your own choice. Do you believe in your own perspective? That's what I wanted to know.
Yes.
You understand that?
I'm going to come out of it.
Yeah, because, you know, somebody says, you could put it on Facebook and says, I need to exercise. Or, you know, I think I'm too fat. What kind of comment do you think people will come back or say?
I am doing my exercises, and I am walking, not the 10,000 steps I used to do, but I'm getting 800, 900 steps in a day.
That's awesome. You know, people will have a comment. If I were to put that on Facebook and say, I'm fat, just something as simple as I'm fat, they will have something to say. If you go to a bar, they have plenty to say. And if you say you're beautiful or you're handsome, they have something to say. If you say, I'm not beautiful, I'm not handsome, they have something to say. Everybody always have an opinion.
But that's just their opinion.
That's right. Even right now, I tell you guys, don't give an opinion. Don't think of anything. Can you all do that?
Yes.
You sure? Can you all see this?
Is it a cup?
Milky Way chocolate.
Oh,
Is it good or bad?
that's good.
I said, don't give me an opinion. You guys just did.
Yeah.
Someone said that's fat, that's not good. And
That
I'm
was
going
very
to,
tricky of you.
and I'm going to go and do this. It's like, Don't give me an opinion. Can you see how quick our mind starts to formulate an opinion? This is really good. But if you all come over here, my office, we have plenty of chocolate. By the way, I miss you guys. You know, our healing circle has been so fun. I was telling Alari, but Alari didn't miss the work. Yeah, she says, I don't have to stop at 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the day to get it all ready. And then I don't have to stay after everybody leave about 11 o'clock to finish it up before midnight. It's like, wow, this is so nice. When we finish, we can relax now.
Enjoy it now.
I told her, I said, enjoy it while you can. Okay.
Yeah, you, Alari, so much. Yes, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, you know, and okay. So can you see opinion comes and goes so quickly? Yes?
Yes.
And then if we use that opinion, it actually creates a doubt. You get that?
Right.
Okay. And if we fight that opinion, guess what? This is a tricky question. Somebody said something and you fight that opinion.
You don't like collaboration, Alex?
And if you fight that opinion, what happens?
It's bigger.
It gets bigger. What else?
You lose energy.
You lose energy. What else? Really get this. If you guys get this, you guys are going to laugh because this is so subtle. People think that they're strong. What else? If you fight it, what happens?
That means
It becomes a power struggle.
It becomes a power struggle, and Karen was going to say something.
so you might actually believe it's true because you're fighting against it.
Thank you. You hear that?
Yes.
If you have to defend it, that means it's hitting a spot. Pretty tricky, huh? And we thought we are powerful. Yes, most people do that. Like I said, the average people who wants to be powerful, who wants to be confident, we say, somebody said, oh, you're not good. No, I'm very good. Let me prove to you. Look at all my degrees. Okay? The moment you do that, you're already triggered by that. You see that? And so you have to defend that to prove another point over that point. Versus allowing that point to be just a point.
Alex?
So this is very subtle, okay? Go ahead.
So I'm coming at it from a different perspective, as usual.
I'm gonna eat my chocolate now.
So
Okay.
I'm always thinking of it from an art perspective and having fun and, you know, getting different opinions and getting different ideas and feeding off of each other and it just being like a giant brainstorming, wonderful, collaborative experience. So that's an idea too.
Well, that's different. When you want ideas from people, you're actually going out to solicit ideas. It means you're not fighting for ideas. You're not defending. Excuse my chocolate here. This is caramel that is nice and sticky now. By the way, this is so good. Chocolate and coffee. Am I enrolling you guys into chocolate and coffee here?
Yeah.
So for John, for you, what you're saying is a little bit different from what I'm saying here. In other words, like, you know, when we are sharing something, or when we want to get ideas from people, that, you know, we actually ask for ideas and want to hear ideas before we want to make use of that to be able to do something with it. That's very different. Okay, when somebody's walking around and says, "Oh, you're trying to create a graphics and you're trying to draw an art and you know, like you're sitting on the street, you're trying to catch a picture and trying to draw that," and somebody walk around and says, "Why did you do that?" It's so nonchalant question. Why did you do that? Or it's like, they didn't even talk to you directly. They talked to their friend next to them and they were like, "Oh, that's ugly." And here you are sitting on the streets of Paris trying to draw that little wonderful thing, an Eiffel Tower. And then you look at that and you close and you shy and bring it back to the hotel and drop it in the set. I think I'm not going to do that anymore. So, one opinion, but they don't know that you purposely want to make it look funny and crooked and everything like that for a comic book. But they say, "Ooh, that's ugly." But if you didn't stick by your own philosophy or your own idea, you'll be affected. They didn't even tell you directly, but you heard it. By the way, a lot of people, especially in office environment, especially in group environment, especially in things like that, they will hear things about themselves and they will use that. Or that idea that they have is like, that's too crazy. And so now it's like, should I even use my idea? When we don't have that strength or that passion or that tools to stop that thing from corrupting ourselves, And it is so, I hate to say it, it is so hurtful to the self, but it's actually a lesson for the soul. You get that? You know, and if they're impacted by it, it means that soul is on a journey that will learn something there right now. And you can learn it the hard way or the easy way. It's up to you. And I, as you know, have an easy button. So I put it aside first, and I let you guys do the hard way first. Okay? And if you all have, if any of you find a hard button, let me know. I want to give people a choice: the easy or the hard way. But I don't have the hard button yet. Okay. So most people, all my life, I've done hard button. And why do I say that? And so I said one subtle way is, even if we defend ourselves on something that is so simple as our design or our concepts or our ideas, and if somebody say, oh, that's a stupid design, and if we defend it versus saying, they have no idea what I'm doing yet, but till they see the whole picture, versus, you don't know what you're talking about. Don't tell me that. Reacting to something so simple. Okay, so what other forms of self-sabotage comes into play now that I've talked a little bit that comes to your mind and that you all want to have a freedom from? Anybody?
Comparison.
Comparison, beautiful. And so what's the impact of your experience, please?
Well, if I see somebody that's really good looking and I wished I'd looked like them, then I start feeling bad.
Got it. And
Or
so
if they're smarter or have more money, it could be any of those things.
okay, comparison, beautiful. I know people, you're not the only one that have experienced that. Okay. Actually, I'm actually going to say something even more. Comparison is a very automatic and natural thing for human being. And comparison in our world, especially in our social environment, in our society, is so rampant that it is overemphasized and overused, and it becomes a weapon for a lot of people. And yet, it is unavoidable that we will compare in our society. The question is, what do we want to do about it? And so, yes, we will be compared. And every one of us that I know, if you are human, you have done that or you have been compared to by that. Has anybody here that has not used comparison before?
Alex, if you have siblings, you're automatically compared.
Even if you don't have siblings, you will be compared. What are you talking about? If you're a girl, you'll be compared to another girl in high school. If you're a boy, you're going to be compared with another boy in a jog in high school. You'll be compared. There is no choice. You will be compared. You know, you go to church, you'll be compared. Did you pray harder than the other guy? You know, or that guy didn't go to confession. He needs to go more. You know what I mean? You know, you'll be compared in any environment. I don't care what it is, school, work, everywhere. That's why I said it's so rampant right now. Even in restaurants, you compare. Is this food better than that food? Is that restaurant better than that restaurant? Is that hairdo better than that hairdo? The whole world that we have lived in is based on that comparison.
And we also compare what we do today or who we meet today to our past. So
Yes.
I think that's even, to me, that's even worse. David has a hard button for you.
You do. Let me see. Wait a minute. Complain button.
He pushes it.
I love that. That's a cute button. That is a complaint button. That definitely is in the direction of heart. I love that. Where did you find that?
He made it. He 3D printed it.
Hey,
Okay.
is that you? This is Errol.
Uh-huh.
I forgot your name.
David.
David, yeah. I worked with you.
Oh, let me hold it. You press the button. See that.
Oh.
Yeah. You remember me, David? Are you still down in North Carolina?
Yep.
You might be thinking of another David, but oh.
Yeah, you worked at MMM, right?
Oh yeah.
Where is it?
Yeah.
Oh. Here.
There you go. Look, I'm gonna spotlight him so you can see him. You know, he used to have a different hairdo, okay?
I had long hair and a beard, yeah.
This is a new look for him. This is like the genius look now, okay?
What's your name?
Errol.
Yeah, Errol.
That was the BIM manager
Oh
at
yeah, okay.
MMM, yeah.
I didn't recognize my top hat.
Yeah.
There you go. One change. Nobody recognize him now. Okay, Kathy, you brought up something very powerful. Yes, Kathy?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So comparison is huge. Somebody's got a wind sound effect somewhere. I don't know whose microphone is on.
That was me. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I actually wanted to add something. Can I say something?
Sure. And who is this, please? I don't have a name or I have a number.
This is Ashley.
Again, Ashley. Perfect. Thank you. I was like, where did she go? I was hoping you came back. Thank you. Come on. Yes, Ashley. Go ahead.
Okay, I just wanted to say that I found it interesting what you're talking about comparison, because I know for me, one of the biggest challenges that I have is not so much comparing myself to other people, but comparing myself to this idea of what I think I should be in any moment, what I should look like or how I should act or anything like that. It's like this fake thing that I've created.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that. You've created a scale where you're comparing against yourself, yes?
Yeah.
You know, and that is also very, very like Beth was saying, that you're comparing yourself against your past, okay? And comparison is such a trap. It can be good, it can be bad. It really can be both ways, okay? And you know, and depending on how you use it, and if you're using a comparison for perfection, that is very painful. That is very hard, you know. So comparing yourself, the question that you want to ask for yourself is, how did you come up with the category that you use to compare against? Who gave you that category? How did you create that category as that is the perfect thing or the best thing that you want before you go forward? So a lot of the times when we compare against the past, compare against our ideas, compare against another person, what are we actually doing to ourselves?
Sabotaging yourself.
What did you say, Robert?
Sabotaging yourself.
You are definitely sabotaging yourself. In what way, please?
You're not going to accomplish what you set out to do because you have your doubts.
You will create doubts. it will be harder to reach your goal. But something even more painful than that. What is that?
Confirming the belief.
Confirming the belief of what, please?
You're not perfect. You're not beautiful.
Or you're not good enough.
Yeah. You're
You're
broken.
not
You need
perfect.
fixing.
You're not good enough. What else?
Just causing more suffering.
How does the suffering get created? That's what I want you all to know, to pay attention
You
to the mind.
believe you're inferior to what you're comparing yourself to.
So you believe you're inferior. What else?
You're denying your authentic self.
You're denying your authentic self.
You kind of become a bully.
So that you become a bully. Why do you think, what triggers that to create the bully? In other words, there's something that triggers you want to bully.
Because if you can make other people or make yourself feel superior to other people, then you think you're good enough.
Yeah, so there is a sense of inferior. Do you understand that?
Yes.
That you need to prove that you're superior. So what I'm getting at, all of you guys are hitting close to it, is that you have already condemned yourself and not accepted your true self. You've already concluded that you are not good the way you are. So how could you accept yourself as you are now if you are one hair off the perfect person? All it takes is one hair, by the way.
Alex?
Yes.
It's also, ultimately what's behind there is trying to prove that you're lovable, likable. It's underneath that is you're not lovable.
Correct.
Wanted.
That's why I said when we are not accepting ourselves, it's harder for us to accept love. You get that?
Yeah.
And it's harder for us to, if we don't accept ourselves just the way we are as a human being, just as a human being, then how could we actually open ourselves up to fully accept love, accept whatever we want, or even be worthy of it? So that's why I say the world that we live in has created so many harmful standards for us that we actually have to compare to those standards to even exist in that world. So Kathy opened up a big door. Comparison is a huge thing where it actually, many people self-sabotage themselves using the comparison. I should be this. I should have done this. I should do this better. Last year I can do it. Why am I not doing it this year? Okay, it's like, last year I set a goal, and this year I'm supposed to hit this goal, and I couldn't even get there. So comparison is so huge in our society, and we are taught in school, we're taught by family, we're taught by culture, we're taught by religion, we're taught by society, we're taught by principles, we read books, we're comparing. Even in spirituality, there's so much comparison. Oh, you don't pray the right way, you're not spiritual. Oh, you didn't wear the spiritual clothes, you're not spiritual. Oh, you drink too much, you're not spiritual. So we compare that. We actually create categories. It's like, you're not bald-headed, you're not Buddha. So many classifications that we use, and we actually hurt ourselves so much. So comparison is another strong word to self-sabotage. And we're comparing ourselves on our own category. Like, that's why I was asking Ashley, I says, because when we compare, like, my mother say I'm supposed to be this. My father say, if you're not a doctor, you're not successful. In my Chinese culture, if you're not a doctor, you're not a lawyer, okay, you're not a physician, or chiropractor, you're not successful. So if I follow that concept, I would consider myself a failure. And if I don't go to church, I'm a terrible person. I'm a sinner in that world, yes? So now I have to go get confession. I have to go blessing and blessed by a father to be accepted. If our culture have that, it really hurts us so much. And it's like we want to be spiritual, but our background says, but I didn't go to church. And that's why a lot of my gift training people, they really understand this thing. I nail this thing down that you have no questions, if any, about that you know your spiritual practice. You don't have to wait for somebody to say, what is your spiritual practice? And because how could you be spiritual if you don't have that fundamental? Okay. And so that's why I'm saying I said, the guilt that I used to have when I do my spiritual work was that Catholic people, spiritual work, you cannot charge for spiritual work. Spiritual work and money don't match. And so I said, so that means I have to do my work. And then I have to go to work to survive, to take care of my family too. So I work full time and I help people full time. So what time do I have left for myself? And where is the time coming from? I spend time staying on the phone midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock with people talking after work, full time. So it's like, where's the logic? So when we don't have our own reference point, a healthy reference point, we will always use somebody's reference point. Always. You all don't even know it today, right here, right now. I guarantee you all have a reference point that you all are bouncing against that's not yours. Anybody have one that pops up already? Yes, John.
I was just wondering what reference point pioneers use, because they just blow out and go from their own creative intrinsic need, I guess.
Say that again. What reference point is who?
Pioneers.
Oh, pioneers. Okay. So what are you referencing?
Well, I'm just thinking about my own heart and how I've always been and how I love to go for things that seem impossible to a lot of other people. And sometimes it takes years to make it come to fruition. But I don't know if I have like an intrinsic drive. I was just thinking about Robert just a second ago, when he wants to not procrastinate. He wants to not do this, that, and other. And I was like, man, that is such a drive. I love it. It's so wonderful. And I'm sitting here going, I'm a pioneer by heart. I go for things that most people never conceive of. What is that reference point exactly? How does that come about?
Well, a pioneer is a concept of somebody who wants to go to boldly go places where people hasn't gone before. Yes. So that's good. That is not a reference point. That is actually an ambition somebody has. What I'm saying is, what is self-sabotaging you? Today's conversation is not about how to create a pioneer. It's like, what is a pioneer? And it's about, the conversation today is what stops you from being a pioneer for yourself, your own self-sabotage. Yes. If you want to be a pioneer, go for it. I love that. I am a pioneer. And I love to help people. Most people that work with me have a whole new direction of their own career that they're pioneering right now, because it's a whole unique gift that they're exploring. Okay. So, but what stops them is the self-sabotage. Make sense? So I'm not saying about comparison about that. I just want you all to know that comparison is a big thing, and that there's a self-sabotage that stops us inside that world of comparison. Comparison is huge. There's actually a lot of self-sabotage in there. Okay. And in the world of pioneer, however, it's a little bit different, because pioneer are people wanting to explore, wanting to reach new heights, wanting to go to places that nobody has gone. And that's good concept. And what stops people down, I want to help people to be that pioneer, right, like you said. But what stops people from being fully self-expressed, being a pioneer? That's where we want to erase that, so you can have that. Okay, so you understanding what I'm talking about, John?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So self-sabotage is huge. You know, like I said, comparison is huge, especially. All right, I'm gonna press this button anyway. Why not? Why not? Why the hell? Okay. In our world, our human body and our weight is a huge button presser. You get that? We all compare ourselves, the right shape, the right size, the right height, the right do, and we spend hundreds and thousands of dollars to get the right one and to compare. But so many of that has so many self-sabotage buttons. What happens if somebody that you spend hundreds of dollars to go get your hair cut and they cut your hair in the wrong place? Or one side in the wrong length? For that period of time, you will be altered and affected already. Versus, oh well. I mean, I've had that experience. Somebody said it's a great deal. There's a barber school over here. You can just go take it, go try it. It's like $5. I said, that's such a great deal. You know, and right next to tropical smoothie, you know. So one day I go tropical smoothie. I said, I need to go get my haircut. I go get my haircut. I sit down over here, and this lady, she's coming to me and said, "Oh, hi, you know this is a school, right?" I said, "Sure." People say you guys do a good job, and so I sat there and I said, "I just want to cut this way and 1 inch." And she started cutting one side, half an inch. I said, 1 inch? Oops. There's no 1 inch anymore because she cut half an inch already. So I said, but can you just cut it? She says, but I want to cut it this way. No, I want this way. I know you want I want. She didn't want to hear me. She just wanted to cut it her way. And then the supervisor has to come and says, you know what? Why don't you just cut it your way? I'm just going to let it grow up. So, because we have our own cross-reference point, what is good, what is perfect for us, and when somebody introduces something that we were not ready for, it will throw off our equilibrium. Yes, it will throw off our equilibrium right off the bat, very quickly. Okay, so all I'm saying is those are normal triggers in everyday life. And the journey of self-mastery is very powerful here. How do you stay centered, stay powerful throughout all of this? There are a couple of things I want to address here now. And for when it comes to comparison, you cannot just say, I don't want to compare. So when it comes to comparison, whether it's the past, whether it's the least, or whether it's the present, or whether it's the future, you actually have to use a different paradigm from saying, I don't want to compare anymore. You have to ask yourself, why do I compare? If you compare because you want something, that you create a goal that you want to accomplish, that's good because you are actually creating a goal that you want to reach. But if you're comparing against somebody else's goals, that's why I say, whose list are you using to compare? If you're using somebody else's list of goals, I would invite you to take a look. Why do you use that? You might want to now change that to a goal of your own. And when you have a goal of your own, like you said, you want to accomplish, you want to write a book, or you want to do this and you want to do that, okay? Now, how do you stay centered if you're not at that goal and you haven't reached that goal, or if somebody throws you off? That's a different conversation now. Okay, that's important now to be able to how to do that.
How
So
do you do that, Alex?
drink a cup of coffee. So I'm back to center. Okay, so yes, that is a very good question. How do you do that? So like I said, comparison is one thing. Self-sabotage is another thing, in the sense of like, it's like, I can't get there. It's like, I want it, but I can't get there. So the first thing that you need to know is you need to be present to your conversation of your own self. Yes? You have to be present. Because if you don't, you keep saying, it's like, oh, that's not possible. I don't know. So you say 100 things before you even say, why did I even say that to myself? So the first thing is you have to be present. Make sense? So that means you watch what you say about yourself. So let's keep it something so simple. Okay. When you, I'm going to do one thing. One second. Okay. You see, I get to learn how to focus when I have so many faces in front of me. I get to see so many people. Okay. Where was I? Okay. So how do you stay present to yourself? You have to choose. First and foremost, you have to choose. You have to choose. I choose to be present to my own conversation. Okay, and then that becomes a practice, because there's a new muscle. If you don't practice a new muscle, you will not use it. Okay, and you can enroll others. If you have a partner, you can enroll others. Say, hey, by the way, and I want you to help me be present to my own conversation. And when I was going through this training, it was really funny because everybody was listening for everybody. If I say something negative, my friend says, did you mean to say that? You know, if you enroll others, especially you got people around you, it's really a fun game, but it could press your buttons as well. It's like, did you mean to say that? It's like, oh, why did you say that? Is that a powerful negative statement you want to keep using? So you get present, you get others around you to enroll yourself. And so you have to be present to that. Yeah, you have to be present to your mind in your conversation. And so what is considered self-sabotage? So we want to use this conversation here now. A self-sabotage is something, just the word says sabotage, saboteur, somebody interrupting or stealing your dream or your goal. Yes? So if that somebody is yourself, it's self-defeating, is it not? So you want to be able to catch that self-sabotaging conversation, and then what do you do about it? Like John was saying, to be consistent is to practice the mastery of paying attention to one's thought. You get that? If you don't pay attention to it, you'll say 100 things like, you know, I don't know why I'm so weak. I don't know why I'm so negative. I don't know why I'm so hurting. I don't know why. I don't know. We will say so many things to ourselves. And the moment I say, I don't know why I'm so weak, I have just self-sabotaged myself. I will have no idea. I will not understand. Nobody can tell me. No doctors can tell me, because I've concluded that I don't know why I'm weak. It's a whole world. When I teach people how to listen, that one statement is so harmful. Most people think that's just a common statement. I don't know. I don't know why I always do that. People thinking it's a brush off statement. It is a brush off statement, but it is a brush off statement to avoid the reality of that world that has been created. And it's a detrimental, harmful world. Okay, if you all want to really understand the world, we can go back over there, but I want to come back to this. How do you stop a self-sabotaging conversation for yourself? Okay, so the first thing first is be present, yes? Okay, and the second thing that you want to is you want to know how to switch off that conversation, understand? Because if it's a conversation and if it's not good, you want to be able to switch it off, okay? Because otherwise, it's just not healthy. Make sense? So, how do you switch off a conversation that is self-sabotaging? Any idea? Okay. Very, very simple. The first thing first is, who's that? I heard somebody saying something.
So it really is here.
Kathy, are you saying something?
If it's in the
Oh, Ashley, are you saying something?
No, it's not me.
Okay, not you. Okay. All right. So, okay, somebody's saying something. Let me see how I can mute everybody first so I can continue my conversation. Okay. All right.
I said first you have to hear it, and then you realize that you hear it and you're thinking it.
Is that Kathy?
Yes.
Okay. I thought I heard a voice. Okay. So first you have to be present to your own conversation. Yes.
Yes. That's it. Be present and you hear it and you know, oh, I'm thinking this.
Right. So when you're present, you can actually hear the thing that you say to yourself. Yes.
Yes.
Like, I don't think I'm as beautiful as. Okay. So let's say a statement that says, I don't think I'm as good as the other person. So it's a simple comparison statement, self-sabotaging oneself. Okay. So here's why I say it's so powerful. When you say something so simple as that, I don't think I'm as good as the other person. What's hurting yourself that really sabotage yourself is this. First, the moment you say that, I don't think I'm as good as that person, you've already concluded about yourself something. You've already concluded you're not good. Not just not good as, you're actually not good. And the second thing that you actually said that is harmful to yourself is you've elevated somebody else more important than you. There'll be a pure disappointment conversation inside here that nobody even addressed way in the back. Okay, like in your subconscious mind, you're already disappointed about something. Comparison is very harmful. Okay, so when we say something, I'm not as good as, so nonchalant, so simple. You know, in the advanced listening, people hear the levels that I ask them to hear. It's like the world that they create out of one statement. So why I'm saying to you is, please stop self-sabotaging your beautiful life. Your life is so beautiful, just the way it is. You, each and every one of you, is already beautiful just the way you are. You don't have to lose weight to be beautiful. You don't have to compare yourself to your past to be beautiful. You don't have to compare to a list that somebody gave you to be beautiful. You all are already beautiful. And why do I say that? I say that your soul, each and every one of your soul, have designed this life specifically to choose your body type, your hair, your body build, to have the adventure the soul needs, the adventure the soul wants. The challenges the soul wants to go through. I shared with some of these people over here, I says, our human being learn from what? The way we learn is through trials and tribulations, is it not? When we go through a trial, we'll be able to laugh. Through tribulations, we'll be able to love.
Isn't there a better way?
You tell me.
Yes. No boxes.
So David, you can design something cool for me like that. Yes, I said suffering is optional. My teaching is suffering is optional. That's why I said you can press this.
That was easy.
To go through your life lessons, or the normal way that a human is designed is through pain and suffering. 2x4s, how many of you had that? You break
normal, Alex.
You break my heart. Oh my goodness. Oh, it really hurts. It really hurts. I'm gonna die. We do that. And then we grow up, it's like, wow, I'm doing the thing that I've always wanted now. Was that bad? Elizabeth has experienced that. Soul is experiencing that. I have experienced that. I felt that I had a knife sticking the back of into my heart. I said, oh no, I'm dying. I have a knife in my heart. It feels like somebody's ripping my heart out. And my guide was laughing. He says, really? You have a knife in the back of your heart? Let's call 911. I said, but no way. It's like, what you say is dangerous. So if there's a knife in your heart, let's call 911. You know, I said, but no, but it's really hurting. I feel like it's stopping. I can't breathe anymore. Let's call 911 again, he said. You know, but no, it's not that. But we make it mean so bad, so painful. But here's the beautiful thing. If you all can understand that that is how a human being learned, like a Buddhist teaching is, you are not your emotion, yes? You are not your mind. What if you can understand this is how a human being learns? And I said, your soul is this. A human being does this, automatically do that. And if you don't know how to separate yourself, then you're in the cycle of it. So the idea here is to be present to what the human being said to himself. And understand your soul is here to use this vehicle to learn. Okay? The vehicle to learn. Don't get stuck in the game of the vehicle. Don't get stuck in the trap of the vehicle. You know, the vehicle is like, oh, wow, you know, that's the moment the person, the human being gets stuck. That's where the soul says, let me see how he's going to get through this. Let me see how Alex is going to get through this life-ending, miserable problem of his. Lo and behold, he did. And he's laughing about it now. And the soul says, so what was the problem? But we don't see that, because when we're in the middle of the drama, it's like, you won't believe how terrible it is. You won't believe. Johnny, you won't believe how painful my heart is. No, you all won't believe how terrible it is, my life. Human beings are drama queens or kings, yes? We're so good at that. Okay? And you guys are laughing because you guys know what I mean. The drama that we create out of this, it's like, man, just like I told you the news, there is a hurricane, there is a storm building out in the ocean. You better watch out for it. It's coming. Is it here yet? No. It's really coming. It's dangerous. So when we dramatize something, that's the human way of expressing and developing and creating story. That's the human way. You need to understand that. If you understand that, then you can say, there is a storm. I know it's dangerous. I'm just going to prepare for it. I didn't say to dismiss it. I didn't say to not make it important. I said, wake up. But I don't say, don't follow the drama. Create your own pathway. So the second, the third thing is most important is what I just said just now is, first, be present. Second, listen to what you're saying. Third, do not follow other people's pathway. Choose your own pathway. You understand that? Educate yourself. Choose your own pathway. If you follow somebody, you're comparing. You can learn, like she was saying, you can go ask and look at other, you can learn. And then after learning, don't keep learning. Somebody can keep learning forever. Don't keep learning. After learning, you discern and you choose which one is the one you want to use. You have to choose. You get that? Your soul come here for you to choose. Your soul didn't come here for you to just study. Your soul come here for you to choose, make a choice. And once you make a choice, you have to go through the experience. After you make a choice, your soul will go boom, says, after you make a choice, right or wrong, you're going to experience that. When you experience that, your soul learns right away. If you don't make a choice, your soul cannot learn. It's waiting for the human being to make a choice. The faster you make a choice, the faster you learn. Either it's right or wrong. You learn really quickly. You know, I forgot what's the name of the person said on an interview one time. He says he discovered this conversation and he was very successful. And somebody asked him, "What do you think life is?" He said, "Life is a series of choices. You choose, and you choose, and you choose, and you choose." Very beautiful. I love that. I use that every time. If you have difficulty making a choice, please learn. Make a choice quickly. I was there. It took me forever. I had to say, it took me years to make a choice sometimes in the past. Okay, and now I can make a choice very quickly. Okay, but I have to learn. But that's my human journey. And my soul learned. After my soul is so happy now, I can make quick choices. It's like lights, no lights. Feel bad if my video is bad? No, enjoy video. There's gonna be problem. It's human. So making choices then you can start to enjoy your life. Does that make sense for you guys so far? Because if you don't make a choice, you're still having to use what? An old comparison and old history and old database. Nothing new. The moment you say, I like salsa, it's a choice. You either go try it, go play with it, and like it, or you hate it. Okay? Good to see you guys. Yay, somebody come back on. Darn, yay. Yay. Is that island in the background? Scottish in the background?
Yes, it is.
Ah! Those clouds.
Exactly. I love clouds. It's my mom's house.
Ah, look at that. Scottish background. You see, different world has different atmosphere. It's so funny. It's like, you do it. Okay, so are you clear? It's very important that first you have to be present to this, yes? Otherwise, you cannot stop your self-sabotage, okay? So my definition of self-sabotage is something in your own self stop you or rob you of your own dream or goals. Okay, it could be somebody, it could be yourself, but you mostly here in your own mind. Okay, even if somebody said it, your mind accepted their conversation, and now your mind says, they're right, I'm not good. So you still end up the one self-sabotaging yourself. So the idea here is to stop all those conversations, even if it's on one path. If you really want to practice this, you choose one path. When I say choose one path, I mean one area of your life. Like my area that in the past when I chose was to be good at speaking. That one path. If you choose one path, and you will hear so many self-sabotaging conversations, like my self-sabotaging, the first one is, you're Malaysian, you have an accent, nobody understands you. Nobody. I actually conclude nobody understands me. So how can I talk? Yes. How can people listen to me? So I have to get rid of that self-sabotaging thinking. You get that? And then what do I come up with? So now you see, I'm going to walk through this exercise so you can you see that. So one of my self-sabotaging is like, I'm Asian, nobody wants to hear me. My accent is so strong, nobody can understand me. So I decided, how could I use that powerfully? Instead of using that unhealthy thinking, I want to make that a healthy thing. So I used to think that, and now, because of my accent, people have to listen to me harder, and they will understand and pay attention to me better. I say, yeah. Then I can get their attention and they will get my message powerfully. I love my accent now. So, instead of using an all unhealthy story, I created a new story that of my choice that is healthy. So I used to think that now I love my accent and people love hearing about me. And I used to write things I don't know how to spell a lot of the times. Okay, so when I start writing, I was self-conscious. So I always have to think so much about how to spell things right, because I have certain things that I flip around. So I feel so awkward at writing or spelling or things like in my emails and time. You all can see so many mistakes. My dear friend Kathy always helps me in that. Okay, so just that I actually have to use Grammarly now, so that it helps me. Before I still make mistake. Okay, but instead of focusing on my mistakes or my spelling, in workshops, I always tell people, because it's a joke now, if everybody understands me, I said, I'm going to write quickly all these things. If I misspell something, here's a box of all the letters A to Z. Just put the letters that's missing into my spelling and you get it right. You just get my point, okay? So I decided to just come out and have fun with people and just share my message.
Alex, I thought that was your soul journey, because when I see your messages, I'm like, he's doing that on purpose.
And actually now I'm using that. Like today's email, I just put one sentence, see how many people actually see that. Because I have the freedom in that one area to transform that conversation. I have that freedom, now I can play. Otherwise, I cannot play before. Otherwise, you know, I was so shy. I was so afraid. I don't want to say, because when I was in England, when I start to speak, they laugh at the way I talk. The English people, they're Catholic. I thought they're good people. Oh my God, don't believe that. You know, I go to an all-boys Catholic boarding school and I got more humiliated than I ever have in the 12 and 13 years of my life. In 1 year, in one semester. You know, so if I use that conversation that they have created for me at 13 years old, I will not be powerful. So if you choose an area of your life, then you will hear the conversation that's self-sabotaging you, and then you'll be able to do something about it. So once I stopped that, I said, no. And did you know, I was very smart growing up, and the English experience, they say, I don't understand them because they're English humor. And then when I start to explain to them from Malaysian way about the Bible, because we are all boys Catholic boarding school, I was starting to become a priest, and I was interpreting the Bible, they say I was wrong and I was stupid. That's not the way it's supposed to be said. So I thought I was stupid. And so after that, it was so hard for me. Before that, I never studied to go to take exams. And after that, I had to study so hard just to get a C. So hard. It's like, I was telling Larry, it's like, I have to read the questions several times just to understand, is that what they're asking me before I can do the test? So if I accepted their conversation about me, I would end up not playing, not doing, being stupid. You know, my discovery about my stupidity was when I was in Philadelphia, group of 120 people, and people were talking on the stage. And I says, why am I stupid? Why? Oh, I have been using a test that was designed by other people to test myself, and I couldn't understand their test, and hence I failed. So I was stupid. I said, to a heck with that. I'm not going to use that test. They don't know how good I am. They don't know how big my heart is. They don't know how intuitive my mind is. They don't know how much I can listen. I said, I hear spirits. They didn't ever test me about that. So I actually walk up in Philadelphia, in front of 120 people, and says, I have something I want to share. And the leader of the classroom says, what? I said, I want to share something. I just discovered that I'm not stupid. That I found out that I was stupid because I took the test that everybody else used. Today, I'm going to make a test. They say, what test are you going to do? I said, if I can spell apple, this is my test. If I can spell apple, I would conclude I'm smart. So I would stand in front. I said, A-P-P-L-E. I'm smart! A lot of people saw that and said, I want to take that test too. I decided to conclude for myself what my own intelligence is. Do you understand that?
How old were you then, Alex?
46. So I've been stupid from 15 to 46. Can you see that? That's not a fun life. When before then, I had to study the book. Like when I was studying any book, it was so hard for me to study. And after that conversation, I opened a quantum physics book. The first time I read it, I couldn't understand it. I said, "Oh, wait a minute, now stop. Don't use that all conversation." So I tell myself, in a moment, I'm going to read that same book about quantum physics. In a moment when you read it, your mind can easily understand it because you're smart. So I went back to read it again because the first time I read, I couldn't even get past the first introduction right on the first chapter. Okay. So I opened it and read it. Oh, it makes sense. Oh, yeah. I kept going. Oh, yeah. It makes complete sense. What is the difference? One conversation I had about myself. One conversation. I use that every day. If I read something in anything, I don't get it. If I catch myself, it's like, nope, stop, pause, take a breather. Change your perspective from the old that you don't understand it. In a moment, you're going to read this thing. You're going to get it, and you're going to see how well it is to, you know how to use it. And then I go read it, and voila, it makes complete sense. So what I'm saying is self-sabotage will happen every which way. The fastest way is to pick one channel, and you'll start to use it in other channels, but you will pick one channel, be fully present, listen to the conversation, catch the conversation, change the conversation. So my conversation last time to you, like stinky spaghetti, I used to and now. Okay, so if you use I used to, you put that old context in the past tense right away. You get that? You don't even have to argue, you don't have to test. The moment you say, I used to think I'm stupid, and now I have concluded I am smart. I even tested myself. I'm smart. So if you have something in all comparison that you all are using in the past, you can say, okay, do I want to compare that? I used to compare that, and I conclude I was not good enough. And today I want to look at this. This is my new comparison. Today, I have concluded that I am already beautiful today. And so I am beautiful. And just look at it again. Don't fight it. Because you fight, remember I said the moment you fight it, you accept it. Don't fight it. That's why my method is so powerful. The energy, if you all read the energy of what I'm saying, is you can actually see how it dissolves. The moment you say this, it's like, I used to think it was hard, or I used to think that I have to compare this to be a good person. Today, I'm already concluding I'm a good person. And when I conclude I'm a good person, that means good things will come to me. I used to think that I'm not good enough, and now I can see why a lot of things in that world that come to me is not good enough for me. Oh yeah, of course, I can see why, because I said I'm not good enough, and hence all the not good enough things come to me. Makes complete sense. And now, I am so good and so ready. My arms are open for great things to come to me. Great things to come to me. So no more fighting about your past. No more fighting about your comparison. No more fighting about somebody else's comparison. No more fighting about your old family conversation, like my parents' conversation about religion. No more fighting about them. Acknowledging them and putting them in the past tense. Like you're at peace with it. I used to think that I have to be Catholic to be a good person. And now I am a good person, and I have a beautiful spiritual practice. So the moment you say, I used to, you don't have to fight. You can actually look at the thing that you're working on. You can actually look at it, and then you can put it in the past tense. That means you actually said, thank you for the journey. It's in the past now. I'm done with you. And then you welcome the next thing. So to stay consistent is to start, get present to see how many of that is running and pluck it away and put it away. And once you pluck all of that, it becomes less. And then that thing, so something as simple as like I used to get triggered when somebody just look at me funny. Somebody just look at me funny. They don't even have to say anything. If they look at me funny, it's like, am I wearing the right thing? Am I too fat? Am I too ugly? I have monkey minds in the past. So I said to myself, I used to be so insecure when somebody looked at me. So I explored that conversation. I mean, that one sentence, it took me almost 3 months to explore that one conversation. The first thing is like, why am I so insecure? I asked myself. I was self-conscious. I was using other people's opinion about me. So I don't know myself. So, okay. So I said, I am Alex. I'm a Malaysian, Chinese. And people will look at me. So in the past, if people look at me, I all go into self-defeating thoughts. What is a new thought that I want to use? So I choose a new thought, like when they look at me, I now stop first. I don't want to say anything. And a new thought I would say, when they look at me, they must really like what they see. I just said, I don't care, everybody. So I went one whole month, every single day. Anytime everybody look at me, I said, I only choose one positive statement. When they look at me, it's like, they must really like my clothes. They must really like my hair. I don't care, I just made it up. You know, they must like my nose. They must like my feature. I don't care, I just said that every single day for one whole month. I felt so good at the end of the month. You understand that? It's not real. I don't care because I made up that story. If they say, they look at me, I say, oh, am I good enough? I made up that story. So why don't I make up something good? So I decided, well, those are two stories. Which one do I want to use? Something good or something bad? So you all can play with that. Won't it be fun? So would you all like to play that? If somebody look at you, they say, there must be something good about me that they want. You all can play that. Can you see how funny that can be? I did that. I went to a restaurant. I sit down. I was working at the gym at that time. To help the gymnastics kids. So a coach over there, and I run the rec programs, the levels, mom and me all the way to level 3. And so a lot of parents look at me, and every time I look at me, they say, he must be a great coach. So I made up all the fun, really fun stuff. So play, please, play. It's like, you make it easy, don't make it hard. Don't try to over. So once I do that, my confidence just went, you get that? So are you all hearing something here for yourself so far? Because if I don't do that, my mind will do one of those things, yes? The old thing, yes? It's so automatic. So my recommendation is stop it and start moving forward that way, yes? So don't let the old run your life. Don't let it sabotage your dream. And I said to you guys are already beautiful.
Alex?
Yes?
So something that a lot of people find daunting is the unknown, the space out in front of them that they've never gone to before. So what is your recommendation for those of us who are going into the unknown?
Okay. So is that something that you are experiencing?
Yes.
Okay. So in the Shaolin Temple, when you go, there is a special room, a dark room chamber, that when you reach a certain level of training, you have to go through that dark chamber. It's completely, you have no idea what's in there. You have no idea what dangers are in there. You have to use your intuition and your senses. So when you walk through that chamber, when you walk in that chamber, when they close the door, you cannot see a single thing. Why? Because that's the number one fear of everybody, the unknown. So if you don't have a way of doing it, if you don't have a way of processing the unknown, it's going to be very scary for you. You understand that? What is the unknown? What is a dark room? In the past, like you, when I hit the unknown, when I'm fully present, I said to my exercise for you is, when I'm fully present to my conversation, I stop, I listen to my conversation. What is my conversation saying to me? It's scary. I'm scared. Ooh, there could be a knife. Ooh, there could be a chair. Ooh, there could be something over there. There's a hole down there. Ooh, I'm making up something even scarier to me. You get that? And I haven't even walked one step yet. So I decided to say, stop the conversation. Stop making any new conversation that is not even true. Can I just be present to what is right here? Can I actually feel what's ahead? Can I actually feel, use my, not just my five senses, can I use other senses about what's ahead? So now I become excited versus afraid. Do you see that? So I stop. Remember I said stop the automatic old conversation. So you stop every unknown for every person. It will be scary.
Is that no mind?
That is no mind. Being fully present to the what is. It's a powerful exercise. I do it myself sometimes still. I close the door, close the room. I walk into that room and I stand right by the door. Can I just quiet my mind? Or even outside when it's completely dark, I stop. I let go of my mind, switch off all lights, and I walk one step. Can I feel what am I stepping on? What kind of rock I'm stepping on? Next place, what am I stepping on? Can I feel that? Can I be calm and be present to it? Or do I have to be afraid of who's looking, what's going on? No, I don't have to have that. The more you do this, the bigger your senses open. So retrain yourself, like when somebody look at me, retrain my own thinking. When you approach something fearful, stop the conversation, ask yourself, is this a helpful conversation, or can I put something really powerful for myself? You know, dark room is actually a very, very powerful. If you close all lights, you sit in the dark, it's really powerful. Like complete darkness. I'm not talking about there's a small red light, there's a small light here. No, complete darkness is very powerful. Of course, it will bring out fear. But once you pass the fear, there's something magical about that. Okay, so thank you for asking that question. Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, because the no mind is very peaceful. The no mind can access the energy field of the space, of the unknown. So you can actually start to, from no mind, you can actually get answers of what's coming versus not knowing what's coming. Okay, so and then so the key is not fighting the past, letting go of what's stopping you, immediately creating something beautiful, and use that. And you need to repeat this for a couple of times because there's a lot. Like I just created one. Go and look at everybody, and everyone, they like my head, they like my shirt, they like my skin. I don't care. I just made it up. Okay. So, and by the end of the month, I really felt so good because I was so happy. I'm not afraid of people looking at me anymore. Okay. And to this day, I'm still not. I have complete peace. You know, I can go to a party and wear whatever I want to wear, and I'm not even concerned about that. So, but that's something that self-mastery, that's something that you develop a new way of being steady, no matter who says what, no matter who looks at you, no matter who asks you to compare. And you compare to only your own value, not to somebody else's value. And today I compare myself. What is a good teacher? How does a good teacher teach? I look at the value of a good teacher. I don't compare everything. I don't compare myself to Jesus Christ. You know, I look at what is so wonderful about Jesus that I want to learn from. And one of the things is storytelling, called parables. I love that quality about him. And what does Buddha teach that he is good? So I pick the qualities that I compare myself for, but I'm not comparing. I'm actually using it as a goal to achieve. That I choose to master storytelling. So it's a goal to achieve. You know, Buddha is about living life, not about telling people or going to convince everybody. Can I practice that walk that let people come to me if they want to? I don't chase people anymore. I used to chase everybody, and now I let them come to me. So how can I practice the space? That means I have to open the space like Buddha did and let people come to him to learn his message. So I choose the qualities that I want and I master that. So you guys can use your way of growing for your soul on your journey. And every one of you have a unique journey. You understand that? Everyone have a very unique journey. And one thing I want to say, they want to share. What Alex is sharing with you today is a powerful tool for your soul to really learn your soul lesson and move forward quickly in your soul's journey. In a more succinct way in the shift of the society that is so much more critical than it used to be. It's a beautiful tool he's given you. As he's always come from a soul agreement and soul contract. Your soul could use this to benefit your journey, to be able to accomplish the lessons that your soul wants in an easier way when our society has changed so fast and so much and put so much pressure on each human being, more so than is even needed. We hope that you all will get this message for yourself and use it in your own journey. Namaste.
Namaste.
I hope you all got something out of that. They want to share, so I had to let them share. I was just going to finish already, but they want to share. So I'm so glad you all were able to share and join me in this conversation tonight. Did you all get something? I just want to open it up. So, did you enjoy your first one? I'm going to unmute everybody. Let's see. Oops. Okay, let's unmute everybody. Unmute all. Okay, I'm just going to open. I hope you all got something tonight. Did you all get something?
Yes.
Yes, it was great.
Yay!
That's one.
I love that little muppet. You know, you can, look at that. You can apply this for your health, especially, by the way, you guys. You all can use this for your own health too, okay? No more self-defeating health talk. Like just even on your health, you can say, it's okay, from now on, I'm gonna achieve my goal. I'm gonna be able to bring my health back to the line that I want and keep going. No, I don't care what anybody say. I don't care what the doctors say. I don't care what my friends say on Facebook. I'm gonna reach it. Okay, just no more self-defeating talk. So, and I talk more than I even talk. What time is it? It's past 9 o'clock. Oh my goodness. It just went by so fast.
What you're talking about, Alex, it's only 6:07.
That's right. It's only 6:07. Yeah. So what time is it over there, so? It is 6:07.
I'm in my Portland bubble.
Hey, Kai, you got in. What time is Kai? Kai is like only 9 in the morning.
Yes, hi, everybody. I heard your main message. Yeah.
So good to see you. Yeah.
Yay, good stuff.
Yeah.
Love it.
So I know I said a lot. Before I go, I always want to make sure that I answer all your questions. So do you all have any questions about what I say and how to use it?
Yeah.
So I'm opening, so anybody who has any questions about it, don't be shy, just because this is for your soul. You know, like I said, this is meant for you, and they wanted me to share this message with you, so I'm just giving it to you. So you just feel free to ask if you have any question, how to use it, what I'm talking about, what I mean about it. And you know, and you can listen to this again when I put it back on YouTube, so you all can actually review this end part or the whole thing again.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about food?
What about food? It's good.
Like how, like I'm sure I'm not the only one that experiences this, but what about like when you want to eat something, but you're thinking to yourself, you know, you really shouldn't be eating that, or you're going to get fat, or you're not going to look good, even if you were to stop that.
Okay.
Talk.
So first, I love food, okay?
Yeah.
So that's a different conversation for me than from you. Okay, so I want you to say it again, and I want you to slow down. I'm going to help you see how you think and how to really break it down. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and say your first statement, please, when it comes to food.
Like what I think, or
Yeah, what you think, correct.
oh, you know, you really shouldn't eat that.
Okay, pause. Take a breather. And release. Beautiful. When you say that right away, I really shouldn't eat that.
Mm.
I'm going to say it to you again so you can hear it again. You put a beautiful dish in front of you.
Mm.
It smells so good. And yet you say to yourself, I really shouldn't eat that.
Can you get me some more snacks?
No.
Nice one, Karen.
Okay? So when you say that, you are based on what conversation?
Yes.
Society.
You're using a conversation that tells you that this food is bad. Do you understand that?
What about if it's like just direction, like either from the medical community?
Hold on a second. Stay with me first. I want you to really hear the impact. So be beautiful, and then I answer that question, because you asked a very important. This question is really helpful for a lot of people. A lot of people. When you say I really shouldn't eat that, you've already created a condition that if you eat that, something's harmful is gonna hurt. It's gonna happen to you. Do you understand that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You already conclude, I really shouldn't eat that. So I don't care what you use it based on, even if it's the best thing, I even say the best, the most beautiful thing. And if you eat that, you're already telling your body you're gonna suffer from it. There's a consequence that you're gonna experience from that food.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how can you enjoy something that is so beautifully made by the most expensive, most exquisite chef? Just because it's a piece of meat, or just because it's a fish, or just because it's a vegetable. But if you say, I really shouldn't eat that, here's the condition of the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is actually going over time. Even though you just said one small statement, the subconscious mind will say, there is a condition here. Okay, we cannot let her eat. If she eats, we have to make sure that her body is going to process this. Her subconscious mind is going 400 billion processes per second. When we are not in alignment with what we're eating, our subconscious mind will say, uh-oh, she might eat it. We're going to wait for her. Is she going to eat? Is she really going to eat it? Oh, she's going to eat it. Oh, my God. We have to process it. It's dead. It's not good for her. Oh, my God. They go over time working in their digestive system and in their head system. And then can you see the stress that you put on your body by saying that?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's so crazy. It is so crazy.
What about when you eat something good? It almost seems like that puts stress on it too, because you're already thinking something about food, or I'm already thinking food in general.
Well,
so both ways put stress, because the positive would just create a condition as well.
Well, the positive is different. So give me one positive example, and I'm going to show you the difference between the conversation. So can you give me a positive conversation, please?
Okay. Like if I choose to eat vegetables and a sweet potato in the morning, I know that it makes me feel good.
So what do you say to yourself if you see sweet potato and vegetable in front of you?
Ooh, that looks so good. It's going to make me feel good.
Okay.
And it's good for my body.
So pause. I'm teaching you all how to catch your thinking. You see that? Because our thinking goes so far, just like, this is good, I have to go to work, I have to do this, I have to get my cup of coffee to go with it. It's like, I'm good. I'm teaching you all how to catch this. Like, this is not good, I shouldn't eat it. I really shouldn't eat it. Well, but it's so nice. You already said 5 statements that's self-contradicting on yourself. So when you say, this is really so good for my body, and I am going to eat it. So you're actually telling your body, I'm going to enjoy this wonderful food, and this food is going to help my body. So where is the resistance to that?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Do you hear what I just said? Where is
Yeah.
the resistance that you about that food, that one particular food called vegetable and sweet potato? Because your definition is it's good for my body, yes?
Mm-hmm.
When you base on that definition, the moment that food touch your tongue, your body will accept it. Your body will accept it. Just you say, it's good for my body. And the body will actually, thank you for that energy. You haven't even chewed it or eat it. It even said, thank you for that energy. Can you see how crazy that mind works so fast? And now you see why it's a good idea to understand how to stop, slow down, get rid of all these kind of self-sabotaging thoughts.
Alternate day fasting. That's all I have to say about that.
The moment you say that, you had depending on based upon the value of what you just said. If fasting is difficult and painful, then don't do it.
Yeah, I can eat anything I want as much as I want, and then I just, yeah, and then I fast, and then I can eat whatever I want.
Correct. So if you create a condition where your body, Larry always loves to say this, is like, whatever I eat, my body will assimilate and absorb the best, and it knows how to eliminate so well.
Well, plus the fasting actually does a lot of healing. It gives your body a break, and then it actually regenerates your body during the downtime, and yeah, you can actually restore.
Fasting has a lot of benefits, and for the body, correct. Fasting is very good in many, many ways. All I was saying was create a wonderful context to do it before you do it. Then your body will appreciate, enjoy, and benefit from it. I've seen many people fasting, and in many different modalities, in many from Ayurvedic to the Buddhist to all the yogic practice, to many different metaphysical people, and some people does not have a good context. They actually hurt their body. Okay, when somebody who have a very good context, their body just thrive from it. So actually, I hope that answers some of your question. You have very good question, and thank you for asking.
Yeah, no, that was a really great response. Thank you for helping me to see a different side.
Yes, just like I said, I'm slowing down, and in this little time that we have, I want to go detailed in certain things so that you can actually use in every area. Anybody else have any questions? This is great. Isn't it helpful questions? Yes?
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Any more questions? Okay. So do me a favor. This month's practice, when you all practice that, go to my Facebook and share your practice with me, and just let me know how it goes, and I'll respond to you guys. And if you have any challenge, I'm going to look at that, and I want to respond under the feed of that thing. Just go and share your experience of what you are playing, what you're creating, and what you stop and what you let go, or something like that. Whatever you want to share, just feel free to share. I want to see how you all use it, and I want to see is there another way that I can support you guys throughout the month. Okay, so I think that will be an avenue that I can support you guys in practicing that. Is that all right?
Do you have an email address for people that don't have Facebook?
Yes, I do. I put it on my YouTube channel too, so you can actually comment it on my YouTube channel too. But I will have to. My honey will help me render this and put this, and I'm at the mercy of my honey on that one before it can go to YouTube. Okay, and then once it's there, you can actually do that too. And yes, I do have email. Mine is very simple, and using my Malaysian accent is alex@alex10.com. So the email is very simple. And you can also go to my website and just respond from over there as well. So good. So did I answer all your funny questions that you all have?
Yay.
I like Doreen's stand of humor. Yay, Doreen.
Yay. Yay.
Well,
I'm going to turn the video on.
yeah, everybody's back. Well, on that note, I want to thank you guys for coming here. And I can't wait for you guys to create some powerful things. And I want to thank the Spirit for giving you all the message. Okay? So, welcome and have a good time. Everybody, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Lovely to see everyone.
Yeah, so good to see everybody. And I'm glad Kai can make it. And wake up. And Robert, I want to connect pretty soon. I'm glad you're home. Okay, Robert, I'm going to give you a call sometime and we're going to talk, okay?
Okay.
All right. All right, guys. John, thank you for being so kind to me today. And
Thank
Susan,
you.
so good to see you, Susan.
Great to see y'all. Have a wonderful night.
Yes, take care. I always love
care,
your
everyone.
input. You always have some wonderful big input that shock people all the time and then get them to understand it, and you love that, so that's awesome. So, and all right, everybody, y'all take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.